about to start.
Good afternoon. It is Dominique Huff again for another edition of the Dominique Huff episodes. It is August 17th, 2018, coming to you live here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 35 after the hour. We've got another late start, but we have let you guys know through the social media and through this website that the show will be starting late. So just want to give you guys a heads up. We are adjusting to being back on the radio, so we're trying to get everything together. So the month of August will be pretty much just a throwaway month, so we're just getting everything coordinated to make sure that we're good and together, to make sure that we have a good show. So I definitely have this time felt more prepared because I've actually came with show prep this time instead of being out in the field like I was before. How are you doing today? Great to have you back. Glad to hear that you are with us today. It's a lot going on. It's just, summer's almost over. School's started back for many people across the country. How has things been going with your child's indoctrination camp? Local school. Let's definitely talk about that because as the kids go back to school, I'm definitely seeing a lot of parents are concerned about their kids not getting homework, concerned about things that's going on at the schools, and there's a lot of stuff that I tell people that comes par for the course with how these schools operate. And after you know what I know with these facilities, nothing should come as a surprise to any of you who listen to this broadcast about how these schools take care of business. But I do say that if you do have a child in public school, you do need to be an active participant in their education and make sure that you know what's happening at that school at all times. And just like I tell people on the internet, check your child's book bag, just like you check that man, woman cell phone. Make sure they ain't creeping around. Make sure they ain't doing things behind your back, so you know what's going on. Ask your child about the homework they're having. Figure out who their teachers are, and also get more involved in the educational process of educating your children, because this is a huge time for them. Many of them are going to the 9th grade, many of them are going to middle school, some of them are starting kindergarten, a few are going to college. So regarding that, of course, they're in college, they're adults at that point, so we don't need you being no helicopter parent trying to run to your child's college campus, bringing them a little lunch bag and tucking their bed in, trying to clean their dorm room. You know how some of you all are. You know, you don't want to case in the fact that your kid's growing up. And as your child is growing up, you have to embrace the fact that they are now a man, they are now a woman, and now you have to recognize that you have done the best job that you knew how to take care of that. But how do you get involved with those schools? Are you part of the PTA? Are you using your business to donate money to the school? Are you using your resources to make sure the school has everything they need? Because we can't keep saying what we don't have compared to what other people have, and we're not doing what we need to do. That's one thing I cannot stand, because all too often we also the grass is green on the other side of town. Look at what everybody else has. Look at what we got, what we don't do, and how nobody supports us, nobody cares about us, because we don't care about ourselves. And when you don't care about yourself, you can expect somebody else to do it for you. Period, point blank, the end. So you cannot expect other people to invest in you like you're investing in yourself. So find what these PTA meetings are. Find out who these kids' teachers are. Make yourself known. Don't be that parent that only comes up to the school to show your ass. There's so many of y'all that do that. Some of y'all don't even know what the damn school is at. Kid gets sick, don't know what the school is at, don't even know what the teacher is. You just wait till the shit hit the fan, then all of a sudden you want to bring your ugly ass up to the school. That's just not cute, folks, and that's something that we have to stop. So join the PTA. Some of these schools, it's only $5 a month. 8 months up the year to go to school? What's $32? You put that in for the year. Find out what they need. Find out the wish list of that school. Go to those meetings. Meet the administrators. Meet your child's teacher. Can you name your child's teacher? Do you know what your child's textbooks look like? Have you skimmed through those textbooks? Have you looked at their syllabus and their course plan for the year? You know, they have open houses now. When you come up there and sit in the classroom, look at how the teacher has the classroom look, and they'll tell you about their view of how they want to teach, and then you get a chance to ask questions. So as you do that, this allows you to now be a stakeholder in your child's education. And that's what you have to start doing. Same thing, regardless if you have 2, 3 kids, be stakeholders. Be that parent that everybody knows. Don't be the parent that comes up and show your ass. Don't be that parent that just has everything negative to say. The parent that wants to come and go, finger wag and act like they was in charge of school to be this way and be that way, and like they have all this educational background. And for the college kids out there, let me talk to you for a minute. Now, we'll split this up in 2 ways. For my freshmen, I know you're happy. You're going to school. Like, yes, got my freedom. I don't have to take morning classes. I don't have to take Friday classes. I ain't got to deal with mom and dad. I get to lay in my dorm room. I get to just chill. I ain't got to say, go do this, go do that. And you're just saying, just throwing yourself on the bed, hanging up your posters, meeting your roommate. Hopefully your roommate's not an asshole. Yeah, pop your collar a little bit. Make sure, remember, you're there to study. You're there to get an education. So have your fun, but make sure that you're being responsible in what you do. I'm not going to sit here and give you these lectures, give you these talking points, give you all this stuff that you already heard from everybody else that wants to look down on you like they ain't never did certain things. But actually, I enjoyed my freshman year. Went on a lot of dates, was on the honor roll, did some mistakes in my class schedule. I said, okay, I am not taking no more early classes, but I get off at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for my job. That is not cute. All that time I thought I could take a full six classes, but you think, I took 8 classes in high school. What's the difference? Oh, folks, there is a huge difference because in high school it's mostly regurgitation, teachers holding your hand, read this, memorize that. But in college, it's all about application. It's all about, okay, how did you connect that? What does this really mean? Can you demonstrate a high level of competency in this material? Can you grasp this material? Can you apply this material to a real-life scenario? Or here is a real-life scenario. Take what you learn and explain how you would handle that real-life scenario. And you got to put in your own words, give your own flavor to it. You'll write lots of papers. You're going to do lots of different things. And I love writing papers. That was my favorite things in college. It gave me a chance to really show my creativity and to really get out there and do what I needed to do. So freshmen, don't get bombarded with credit card debt. Make sure you stay active because it's real easy. That freshman 15, it is real. When I tell you it's real, it is real. I mean, I didn't suffer from it, but I know lots of people. I saw them for the Christmas break or the following summer, like, ooh, what happened to you? So, because you'll be eating a lot of junk, you'll be eating different things, but most importantly, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your bodies. So eat some fruits, eat some vegetables, drink real juice, not juice drink, cut back on the sodas, drink lots and lots of water, get that gallon in. And also just think about now you're an adult. You're going to be held accountable and responsible for your decisions and your actions. And as you do that, you got to make sure that you're doing things in orderly and in due time. So don't feel afraid to reach out to people who've been there before, talk to upperclassmen, learn some things. Don't get so caught up in what the textbook said. Because I cannot stand people who are so loyal to the textbook because in real life you're not going to have a textbook. Now to my upperclassmen, returning back, transferring to new school, you already know all that stuff I mentioned. That stuff doesn't even apply to you at all. So now for my upperclassmen, this is your chance to really knock it out the park, to build off what you started on. So now think about the internship, think about those extracurricular activities that's going to put you out there, think about how to position yourself, think about, okay, is this what I really want to study, think about, okay, what do I plan on doing in my life? This is the time now. I tell people, if you see college as a waste of time, sophomore year is a year that's going to tell you it's a waste of time. And if it is, that's when you need to go ahead and exit stage left because most of the times what I tell people, put the loans in your name. So therefore, you're not obligated to finish school or to do something that you don't want to do because mommy and daddy made you do it. because all my loans are in my name. My parents have no loans for me in their name for college. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to make sure that I was in control of my own destiny and that I can do what exactly I wanted to do. So really level up. No matter where you're at, even if you're in high school, if you're in high school or grade school, you should be listening to me right now. You should be at school. But if you're listening to me on a rebroadcast, definitely level up. That's what it's all about. We got to start leveling up now, folks. If you don't level up, we can't talk about what Sierra, Russell Wilson, all of them are doing, and we're not doing the same thing ourselves. It's all about leveling up. So that's just a little musings for me. That's about what's going on. But some housekeeping. Because I don't like to start out with a whole bunch of housekeeping. I like to jump right into the material, then we throw some housekeeping out there so that way for those who are new, they're checking us out, have a chance to kind of hear a little bit about what we do. I am Dominique Huff. I am the host with the most, as most people call it. And this is the Dominique Huff episode, a product of the 10th Amendment Media Group here on No Conduct Radio, one of our syndicated partners. So if you're listening to us at 15 before the top of the hour on August 17, 2018, you are listening to a new episode, not a rebroadcast, not no memorandum, as my late business partner used to say. This is actually a new show. So we're going to break down some articles as we jump right into the business of the show. The other things that we'll be listening to is throughout as we continue to get back into the groove of things, we're going to be perfecting what we're doing with the broadcast much better. You're going to hear more sounds. We're going to try to bring in guests. We're going to try to coordinate things. So please bear with us. Like our fan page at Dominique Huff Episodes. That's Dominique Huff Episodes on Facebook. We will be getting Twitter very soon. I am a one-man show, so bear with me. And I am a man that is doing many things. And so it's in the brand of No Conduct, which is a detour to worldly matters, no conduct, no whatever. Let's talk. Let's get down some of these issues today. Did you know that, and since I did talk about school stuff, this would be a good time for me to talk about this unpaid internship article and give my take and some advice on that. Now, for my college students and even my high schoolers, many of you all will be looking at internships, and a lot of internships, especially if you're working with a small business, will be unpaid. And when they're unpaid, you got to make sure now the rules and the regulations are changing. But before we do that, until it's time for a commercial break. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll jump right on into it.
Parents, looking to go out Friday and Saturday nights? Tired of the hassle of looking for a sitter for your children? Well, contact Building Foundations. At Building Foundations, we have Parents Night Out every Friday and Saturday. You work all week ensuring that your child is living well. How about having a night out like you used to? It doesn't matter if you plan on catching a show, making it a blockbuster night, or hanging out with your friends. Contact Rhonda at 404-668-4810. That is 404-668-4810.
And we are back here on the show, Dominique Huff episode. So let's talk about this unpaid internship. Let's talk about this unpaid internship thing. Hit the wrong button. The Department of Labor rules on unpaid internships. The U.S. Department of Labor has endorsed a 7-factor test in determining whether or not an intern is considered an employee under the Fair Labor Standards Act. Now, this is what I want you to think about. Because a lot of people say, well, you can't pay bills with exposure, you can't do things for free, you got to, are they paying? And I have been in business since 2007. That's going on 11 years. And even I used to run a newspaper at Georgia State University, the student newspaper, the Sentinel Urbanite. And a lot of people, and I get it, we all want to be paid. We all got bills. We all want to eat. We all have goals. We all have aspirations. But you got to build that resume up. What makes you who you are? Now, that goes back to the whole dating potential thing that a lot of people talk about, and you can check that out on Dominique Magazine at DominiqueMag.com. That's DominiqueMag.com. Now, that's more written for black men, but I found myself we have a little diverse audience reading over there, so there is an article on that site on the homepage about dating potential, so definitely check that out. But you cannot brag about your potential if you have not built yourself up. Think about it for a minute. If you're a journalism student and you say you want to write articles, okay, what articles have you written that have been published somewhere? I don't care if it's been published in the neighborhood newsletter, a small town newspaper, your major newspaper, or a magazine, or some of these internet publications. How have you gotten yourself out there to the level of which somebody can say, damn, they know their stuff? Think about it. If you haven't, then you got to leverage your free. And that's the same thing that will go to entrepreneurs as well. So for those of you out there feel that I ain't in college, this shit don't apply to me, yada, 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 when you hit that Xbox, and to me, Xbox get hit, then Kai's going to give me the boot, and then no more show, which I know that makes some of you all very happy, but I digress. But let's continue to talk a little bit. Here's a flexible test with 7 non-exhaustive factors when it comes to unpaid internships. Number 1, the extent to which the intern and the employer clearly understands there is no expectation of compensation. Any promise of compensation, expressed or implied, suggests the intern is an employee and vice versa. So, again, if this is unpaid, then you have to let them know that means no commissions, no I'll pay you on the side, no we'll pay you under the table, because a lot of the stuff you're thinking you're taking shortcuts, folks, and this goes to the business owners that are listening, that you don't want that stuff to come back and haunt you later on. Because if that does, these interns will come back and sue you. There are cases where people are suing former places where they interned from because they felt that wages and creative talent were stolen from them. And I don't want your business to be like that. So that's for my business owners. Now, for my college students, ask that question up front. If it's unpaid, guess what? It's unpaid. Now, if it's ambiguous, be sure to ask that when you're in the interview or talking with them on the phone. Not telling them, you tell them, hey, this is not saying that I want to not do the internship, but I need to know up front so I know how to plan around. Number 2, the extent at which the internship provides training that will be similar to that which will be given in an educational environment, including clinical and hands-on training provided by educational institutions. Excuse me, can't talk right now. Let's break this down from both the business perspective and the entrepreneur perspective. That was dumb as hell. The business perspective and the entrepreneur perspective is the same damn thing. Get together, dummy. Come on. All right, try that again. From the business perspective and the student perspective, there we go. I told you this month is pretty much going to be a pilot month, a demo month. I'm very rusty at this microphone, but we'll keep trying. From the student, these internships should be teaching you things that you should either already have been exposed to through your classes, through your coursework, or just through common knowledge, things that you have done at other jobs. To the business side of that, you should be dealing with that from the aspect of, okay, what am I teaching this kid? What am I teaching this young adult? Because a lot of people think internships are free labor. Oh, I want to have them to clean the office. Oh, I want to have them to go get me a sandwich. Oh, I want to have them to go do this. Oh, I want to have them to go do that. And none of that stuff is helping them while they are coming to your company to learn. Now, if you're not going to pay them, you should at least give them enough experience and enough skills to where they can put that on their resume and be able to take those talents and to be able to leverage it elsewhere. Students, pay attention to this. You want to ask yourself, how can you leverage this? So if you're going to work, let's say, at a media company, they should be letting you write the articles. They should be showing you how to get news. They should be showing you how the radio equipment works, how the TV cameras work. You should be getting a lot of things where you can begin to build a portfolio of deliverables to where you can take that to somebody else and get paid. Same thing, employers. Y'all pay attention. That you look at, okay, if we're doing this, now I have to say, how is the student learning from me? What am I teaching the student? And it's a little give and take to where y'all both should be learning from each other. They're going to show you some of the latest things they're learning in their classrooms, and you will show them stuff that you learned through your years of experience. This should be a relationship where both parties benefit from. And you just can't just think about how you only benefit, and then the student gets nothing. And that's why a lot of these students are going to meet y'all complaining about some of you all about how shitty their internships work. To the extent the internship is tied to the intern's formal education, integrated by integrated coursework or the receipt of academic credit. Students. Now, a lot of times you can get that academic credit if you apply for the internship things through your classes, through your school. Talk to your academic advisor about that. Employers, be sure to list that, and I tell my interns, if you are coming here for degree credit, it is your responsibility to make sure that all paperwork is kept up with, that everything is organized, so that way I'm not going to be standing up, I did that years ago with an intern, had to stay up half the night getting all those paperwork together, and she forgot to get the stuff to me. And I tell people, I got a lot going on, I'm running a company. I cannot think about your paperwork. So that is your responsibility as a student to make sure that the paperwork is submitted properly at a proper time, to where it can be processed, where it can be handled, then also, too, making sure that it's caught up. Because if not, then you're going to run into some problems and run into some troubles, and that's not really the responsibility of the person. Let's go ahead and ask ourselves some other questions as well, too. The other thing I want you to think about as we continue to build is number 4. To the extent of the internship correlates to the academic calendar of the school. So what that means, employers or business owners, is if school starts back next Monday, your internship should be starting around that same time or the week later. And it should recognize university holidays, university observances, and final exam time, to where you and the student come up with a mutually agreeable work schedule that benefits both parties involved. Now, normally I like to do no more than 10 to 15 hours a week, because if you're not paying somebody, this person still has to go out and earn an income. Then they may be waiting tables, doing Uber or Lyft. I wish we had that when I was in school. I would have get a killing off of that. And to really look at how to better position themselves for that. So let's keep going. To the extent which the internship is limited to beneficial learning. So are they benefiting from that? Going to go walk your dogs or to go pick up your kids, that is not benefiting somebody who wants to operate a restaurant. Having to clean out the office or running around, that you come there every day, you talk to them about your personal problems, your spouse, your child's father, how your feet hurt, and you ain't got no groceries. The intern didn't sign up for all that. They signed up to benefit from this. This work, employers, should not displace the work of full-time employees, because you have to make sure that you are giving people benefits of academic learning, academic style learning. Now, I don't mean you sit there and lecture and you have to start buying textbooks and sit down and teach them, but they should be looking over your shoulder, which is slightly like an apprenticeship, to where they're looking over your shoulders, but you have to make sure now that it's not only looking over your shoulders, but you're getting some benefit out of it as well. And, there is no expectation of a paid job at the conclusion of this program. So I gave you those 7 tips for students and intern coordinators to make sure that you both are getting something out of that. Y'all can thank me later for that, to where that benefits your career and also your business. Because now we have to start making sure that we're doing things timely and in order. Now, what do you think? Do you think that is too stringent? Do you think that is too crazy for these colleges, or your college? You just think that's cool? Let me know. 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. You can call in, and we will continue to talk about the show, because I like to make sure that we're going through this and we're zooming through it, one by one. Now, the other thing I want to go into is the independent revolution taking over America. And more people now are walking away from the two parties. Everybody knows Atlanta is the biggest robocall market in the country. I mean, my office phone yesterday rung about 7 to 8 times. And everybody wants me to do surveys, and I'm trying to sit here and conduct business and handle business. And it was all these political surveys. I know it's midterm elections, the biggest election ever. What election they don't say that about. And everybody wants to know your opinion, how are you going to vote, how do you feel the country's doing. I can pretty much predict those surveys. But the one thing that I noticed about this particular survey I took yesterday that came to my office phone was the fact that it did not take into account that I'm a libertarian. So it's like either I was a Republican or a Democrat or independent. So of course with that option, but of course they got the Socialist Party, you got the Green Party, you got the Tea Party. I get that these surveys can't factor in every party, but the independent wave is taking over. According to Gallup, 45% of Americans self-identify as dependent of the Republican and Democratic Party. The number has remained fairly consistent over the last few years. It only tends to drop around election times when people are told they only have two options of the election going in. Now, if you look at my fan page, the Libertarians are sweeping in Tennessee. Because one of the things I don't like about this ballot access law is why do Libertarians or any third-party candidate have to go through the rigmarole of getting signatures to go on so they can be able to get on the ballot? To where, you'll be on the ballot in the general election, but then the media doesn't even recognize the fact that you're a third-party candidate. The media doesn't even give you any exposure. So we as media, A, have to do a better job of dealing with third-party candidates, and B, when it comes to this voter empowerment, voter advocacy, voter engagement, making sure other parties are represented. We can't just keep shutting folks because D or an R. Because most folks are getting tired of that. The old rule of thumb always says, well, black folks historically are Democrats, but you got more black folks now that are waking up from them. You got more black Republicans that are waking up from the Republican Party. So a lot of people are starting to wake up and start saying, hey, I got options. Now, some people may skew more Democrat than Republican. They may skew more Republican than Democrat, but at least, they're not the diehards. They vote straight ticket. They may vote across the slate, a couple of D's, a couple of L's, a couple of I's, a couple of R's, wherever how they grab their ballot. And that's why I tell people that we have to do a better job of getting people out to let them know what their options are. Because you tell them they only got two options, they don't like the options, guess what? They're not going to participate. People are tired of playing eeny, meeny, miny, moe, holding their lows, hoping it gets better, and it don't get better, and then it never works. Keep going. Independents outnumber major party voters in several states. And this article, by the way, is coming from IBN.us. It was called The 15 Ways That the Independent Revolution is Taking Over America. It was published back on July 25th, 2018 by Sean M. Griffiths. So I just came across this article on the internet, thought it was very cool and wanted to share it. It's not just a plurality of Americans self-identify as independent, but millions of voters are choosing to register outside of political parties. Independents outnumber registered members of at least one of two of the major parties of approximately half the states that have voters registered by parties. According to Sean, one of the most recent developments of this comes out of California, where the no-party preference voters outnumber registered Republicans. And a new number of no-party preference voters towards new party registration for both the Republican and the Democratic Party. According to a Gallup poll last year, nearly two-thirds of Americans believe that there is a need for a competitive third party in the U.S., a task that is difficult with campaign and election laws that makes it difficult for another party to gain traction. 80% of independents say we need a major third party. Now, around the same time in November 2017, NBC News Generation 4 poll taken in November 2017 say that 71% of millennials surveyed want a major third party, which would mean a new party for Generation Y. Let's stop right there for a minute. Everything is evolving. The way how we think, the way how we view things, the way how we're handling business, the way how things are taking place. People want options now. People don't want to keep doing the same old thing. You know what they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. It does not happen, people. It does not happen at all. I mean, if you jump off the building and you expect to start, when you put your arms out and you start flying like a bird, flying like an eagle, it just ain't going to happen. And so many people have unfortunately tried that and they're no longer with us. So I want you to think about that for a minute. Secondly, I want you to think about what would happen. Now, of course, in a lot of these municipal elections, it is nonpartisan, so you can vote for a mayor or a city council member or vote many counties are partisan. But I think some of this judicial stuff should be partisan, like the sheriff, the district attorney, clerk of superior court, the coroner, What the hell does that got to do with a party? How does a Republican run a sheriff's office versus how does a Democrat run a sheriff's office? How does a Libertarian run a coroner's office versus how a Republican would run one? Those offices are very specific, in how they conduct themselves, and you usually have a lot of ironing out of what they do. So when you look at that, it's all about, are you the most qualified person to do the job that you say you can do? That's a yes or no question. If somebody's running for sheriff, how would you handle the jail? How would you handle the warrants, courthouse security? Do you believe in patrolling? If you're in a county where everybody has their own police department, how do you handle law enforcement? What are your plans? Well, this person needs to lay out their vision of how they will run their agency. Same thing for a DA, a solicitor general, a coroner, and we can go right down the list. So you don't need a party for that, which I think is why a lot of this stuff gets very convoluted, because people get more caught up in party than they get caught up than people who are trying to do the job. Because a lot of people are just really doing more things just for party and not really to help out what we need to get done in these items. So the other thing I would ask you is, what would you do if you get some people that will tell you that this is what they want to see? And they will tell you this is what they want to see. How do we move that forward? If you can't move it forward, then you're going to have problems. Now, let's keep going. I think what happens with some of these people, we deal with a lot of bullshitting.
Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! 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 Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! 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 Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning!
You heard that warning? I love that. I'm about to borrow that one. Now, why don't you wish that would play after these politicians, when they start lying, or when a politician walks in the room that just comes up there, or one of those bullshitters come in the room? Because you get these parties that get so caught up in voting party, being party loyalty, that they start bullshitting you. We're so discombobulated, we're so far removed from the issues, the things that we need to do to move our neighborhoods and our communities forward, to the point we're bullshitting because we're trying to adhere to archaic and draconian party values. I don't know about you, I'm kind of tired of that bullshit. So that's why I'm glad that millennials are waking up. I'm glad that voters are waking up. But people are kept saying, they're voting on the polls, they're taking away early voting, all this and all that. Every time I hear these folks do that, I want to just wait up.
Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! 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 Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning!
So when you hear all of that mess about polls and assets, you got all this early voting, you have absentee voting, you can get you a ballot, you got all these things that can help you get to the polls, but the fact of the matter is, despite all of that, people are still not voting. Now you can have polls on every street corner, and people still won't go in there and vote. The question is, we have bullshitting candidates do-nothing asshats who are in office and people who don't get a goddamn thing done, and you think we're going to continue to sit there and support that foolishness? Like I tell you, like in regards to the fucked up city of South Fulton, it's a new city these folks want to create here in Fulton County. Oh, we need a city. Oh, we need a city. Oh, we need a city. These niggas can't spell city. But they want to create this city because they thought local control. Now, the funny part, they want local control. They want to, where were you with this local control when shit was happening in the community, when the police department didn't have what they needed, trash and shit's all over the goddamn streets, crime is all high, the schools are terrible, but you want some local control. So now that you've got local control, what the hell are you? Ain't nobody at those council meetings and nobody on those Facebook groups. All these people talk about local control. Now you got your local control, but now your local ass ain't nowhere to be found. And I called that shit out. I did years ago, and people got mad at me when I called that shit out about that. Because I knew those folks down there. I knew that was going to be an epic disaster. Now they're about to shove a sanitation bill up these people's asses because we need sanitation, which they need that so they can get a little extra tax revenue. So that's as I act like that's going to help keep the streets clean down there. So they did all of this. So they wanted local control because they got caught up in the city of Atlanta's battle, which is the Buckhead people versus the Cascade people, because South Fulton, they just went, the Buckhead folks went to South Fulton and said local control because white people said it. Oh, it must be a good thing. Now, mind you, these white folks have never came to these Negroes neighborhoods ever, but now they come down here, match with the Democratic Party, take over the Fulton County Democratic Party, and now they all saying local control, local control, local control, local control, local control, local control. So now, when this came up in 2007, they had nothing to say because the commissioner, who is now the mayor, Bill Edwards, and me and him fell out. We cool again now, but we just know what time it is with everything. Now they're all of a sudden saying, oh, we need local control. Because a group of politicians, and every time I see politicians pushing anything, I step back like, especially a group of Democrats. Especially a group of dumbass black ones and white liberals that work along with them. Now y'all got this. That thing's a hot mess, and all these folks ain't nowhere to be found. I blocked most of them. But even when I have others look, are they saying nope? So now all these folks, they want all this local control. I just sit back and just say,
warning, warning, bullshitter alert, bullshitter alert, warning, warning, bullshitter alert, bullshitter alert, warning, 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 bullshitter alert, bullshitter alert, warning, warning, bullshitter alert, bullshitter alert, warning.
And I'm gonna roll up the phone lines. I know y'all telling them South Fulton South. Oh, he talking about your city. Ooh, there he go again. Don't worry, y'all. I'm recording this, and I won't share it with you. With your ugly ass. 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. Feel free to call right on in, especially though, ooh, I won't tell, ooh, I won't tell, ooh, I won't tell. I want y'all to call. I want y'all to be the main ones to call in with your little telling ass. Now go back and tell this. How has the life of those citizens has improved? Now, you had a little popularity contest with these candidates. Most of the candidates can't stand. Yes, 71 people running for damn office for the city of South Fulton last year. That thing was a circus more than it was a freaking election. How can we have a debate with 20 people on the damn stage running for one office? By the time we get done with the opening statement, it'd be time to go home. But this is the city of South Fulton, ladies and gentlemen. And then, LaDon Jones, who was falling out with everybody over the city of South Fulton, who gonna check me boo all, showing her ass, got her $95,000 a year job, working part-time. So, she made sure she got in like Flint, and the same folks that were down there riding her coattails are food. And that's why they look at them as
warning, warning, bullshitter alert, bullshitter alert, warning, warning, bullshitter alert, bullshitter Bullshitter alert! Warning!
They don't take that button away from me. They should have never let me see that because I'm going to have so much fun with that, especially with the South Florida folks call. I'm probably play it the whole time they're calling. I just do a big loop for 2 minutes. But that's the mess that they did. Now, Stonecrest, on the other hand, they're doing a good job down there in the east side of Atlanta. They're moving forward. Are they perfect? No. Is any city perfect? No, Atlanta's not perfect. Sandy Springs is not perfect. Everything's going to have their own level of problems. But at least you have people who are willing to work together and not out here for selfish gain and ill-guided means. That's why I have so much utter contempt for the South Florida establishment. They can get mad all they want with me saying that. I don't give a damn. And I'm going to continue to say it on every platform that I get. And people say, well, Dominic, what does that have to do with the issues that you just spoke of? Well, because, as I said before, we have to look at true cases of voter engagement and voter empowerment. And you want people to move forward, you have to include them in the process. You can't just tell them the shoo and scat and all that type of stuff, but you have to make sure they're included. Does that mean the Erie citizen wants to be a part of this? No. But at least you should make a legitimate, good faith attempt to get people involved. And we have to do more than just telling people to register to vote. We have to make sure that they are engaged in the process, because voting is just one step of many. And that's what a lot of these voter rights advocates get all confused about. We have to make sure that when you're a part of this process, that you are, excuse me, I'm a little choked up. Now I'm back. I had to get some water because I do all that sound over the microphone. But anywho, back to the point at hand. With voter engagement is more than just registering to vote. Would you like to register to vote? Would you like to register to vote? Would you like to register to vote? So you got them out here with these clipboards and dirty flip-flops and their pants sagging down. Would you like to register to vote? No, I don't want to register to vote. So I like fucking voting. It's kind of fun. Now I've been registered to vote since I was 18. Consider me a Super Bowl. I think I only been through 2-3 elections. But I sometimes look at these folks, and I know somebody will say, there you go again talking about folks. Jesus Christ. Fuck you as well. But anywho, would you like to register to vote? So the average person will register to vote online, which shows you how draconian these voters' rights activists really are. They're so ass backwards and ridiculous, it's just downright silly at best. And this is why I laugh the whole, they're trying to move the polls, and the Republicans will turn back the hands of time, and they're gonna bring back the water hoses and shoot us and throw us off bridges and snatch the girls off our grandmother's arms. And they've been saying that shit since my grandparents were my age, and they actually lived through that foolishness. These folks, you got Pookie and Ray Ray going around here fucking with y'all, but y'all don't think shit about that. They're victims that y'all tell about. I digress. But as I say before, what is the agenda? What agenda do we have for people? Why are we voting for this person to be the sheriff? Why are we voting for this person to be the mayor? Why are we voting for this person to be the state rep? Why are we voting for this person to be the dog catcher? Why? What agenda are they pushing? And I look at some of these candidate flyers, and I know this will be a part two. I look at some of these candidate flyers, and I just laugh. Some of these folks, they running for the homecoming election, the homecoming coordination. You're smiling, and you stand there with your arms all out and look at me, vote for me, I want to govern, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but vote for me. Then you list irrelevant shit like homemaker, church attendee, college graduate, your fraternity or your sorority, proud mother, proud father, proud husband. Is this a dating profile or is this a candidate profile? And I blame the media for some of that shit too, because all these dumbass questions. What's your favorite color? Publix or Kroger? Kmart or Walmart? That shit ain't got nothing to do with the goddamn issues at hand. It don't. And this is why people don't tune out, because we're not having a substantive conversation about the matters. And I believe, and I have a theory, I don't have any answers, but this is just a theory, that certain people do this to keep shit that's mundane, dumbed down, a bunch of fuckery going, because they have they have ulterior motives that really screw over these neighborhoods. And I want to actually put that out there, so I want people to think about that. 607-203-5378, 607-203-5378, if you want to add into this conversation in the last segment of this show. So, no agenda, no vote. No agenda, no vote. And agendas, thank you, Dr. Claude Anderson, have to be funded. We have to get money behind there. So the business owners, the business owners fund their agenda, the LGBT fund their agenda, the feminists fund their agenda, but do black folks fund theirs? That's the question. Do you fund your agenda? Yes or no? And I'm going to give you a little thinking music while you're telling me that. But we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll close out this last segment. You listen to Dominique Huff episodes here on No Conduct Radio. We'll be right back.
Do you need a foreclosure lawyer now? Your search for an attorney ends here. Do not delay. Call now. Call us toll-free at 1-866-751-5074. That's 1-866-751-5074. Business hours Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Not available in Alaska, California, Connecticut, Hawaii, and Kansas.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We're back here on the Dominique Huff episodes here on No Conduct Radio. No need to give me an applause, folks. We made it through the entire show. I think some of y'all clap because the show is almost over with, and you can go back and listen to other things. And I think some of y'all just clapping that I'm here, but let you clap nonetheless. But let's wrap up. No agenda, no vote. No agenda, no vote. What is the agenda that you have for your neighborhood? What is the agenda that you have for your demographic? Have you connected with like-minded people who share that same agenda? How do you get involved with those people to make sure this stuff is moving forward so you can have a better neighborhood and a better community? Because I don't believe that it takes politicians to make a neighborhood great. I believe they can write various laws and legislations, they can remove various regulations that help us get there. They can be strategic partners and make sure we have the funding for the agencies that we want to see funded to provide us with the great services. But it's the people, i.e. me and you, that make these neighborhoods great. And it takes all of us to do our part to make sure these neighborhoods move forward so we can see what we want. We shouldn't have to tiptoe across town or sneak to the neighborhood down the street to get what we want. We should be able to do that in our own neighborhoods. But that takes stakeholders to stand up. That takes stakeholders to be involved. That takes stakeholders to be engaged. And that goes well beyond voting. After we elect these people in office, what's next? What can we expect from them? Did we have an agenda that we can pull out? That's why I love holding on to campaign materials. And you should try that sometime. You should always hold on to campaign materials. People who run and whoever wins, just take that material, put that in safekeeping and say, okay, what they campaign on, what are they doing to move their agenda forward. Hold them accountable. Get to know that elected official once they're elected. Set up a meeting with them. Invite them to your neighborhood meetings. Get on their email blast. Begin to speak up about things that you want, kind of engage them a little bit to where that way they can become your partner. And I get it. Some of these elected officials are downright shitheads and assholes and fucktards. And those people just can't help. So I need a round of applause for that, but since they insist on giving that to me, I take it nonetheless. But that's what you have to start doing. You have to start being in charge and stop asking for permission. What do you ask for permission for? Why do you need these elected officials to give you permission to want a better community? I've never asked for permission to get involved in my community. I never have asked for permission to get involved in my community, and I'm not going to start now. Because I believe that we have to do things as I'm in 36. I ain't saying I'm no old guy, but I'm getting, there's about to be more days behind me than there are in front of me. But I have to say, when I die, did I make an impact on the community? What did I do to leave this world a better place than how I found it? And you ain't got to go out here and try to tilt the whole axis or do all this heavy work, but you have to ask yourself, what are you doing to make that impact on somebody's life? And that goes into the whole thing of going back to these agendas, these elected officials, and being engaged. Because if we're not out there fixing our communities, then we have no right to complain. Connect with like-minded people. Using social media besides talking about Russell Wilson, Sierra, now everybody talking about how to open cans. Now, y'all get distracted with the foolish shit. Get open cans and all this other stuff. So, it's like y'all are all about Bill Cosby. Y'all stop talking about him. But I digress. And start connecting with people. They can be national, local. Build those relationships and have a realistic agenda. And look at how, it's too late for this election now, but for the next election, some of you all will probably have local elections next year. Some of y'all will have elections in 2020. Start getting ready and mobilized now to where you can build these communities in the way in which you want them to be built. Because the power is in your hands, and I want to make sure that you get there. That's why I always use this show as a public policy show, because I want to empower you to take charge. And if that puts a fire under a politician's ass and they get mad, they get voted out of office in this show, then good. So be it. And that's what needs to start happening. So, yeah, you registered to vote? Fuck you. However, are you involved in your community? What organizations are you involved with? How much resources did you put back in this community? What agenda do you guys have for this community? What are you building? What are you sustaining? How are you improving the quality of life in that community? How are you enhancing that quality of life? Let's have those conversations. And once we have those conversations, then we have now raised the collective bar of starting to talk about things that actually matter. So that way we're not sitting here like, how do we get these people to vote? And why people this and why people that? We have to change the way of how we engage. We have to change the way of how we do the whole game. So if we don't change the way how we do things, we will always have the same results. I thank you for listening. This is the pilot. August, September, we're going to be on point like Stacey Adams. And you're going to see a lot more great improvements here. I thank you for listening. You gave me the best gift in the world, which is your time. Time is more valuable than money, but I love money too. Don't get confused. So if you like what you heard today, please like our fan page at Dominique Huff Episode. We're going to have a Twitter soon. We do have a Patreon called 10th Amendment Media. So if you want to make a Patreon donation or you just want to get in touch with me, go to me at DominiqueHuff.com. That's me at DominiqueHuff.com. Thank you, No Conduct Radio, for allowing us to bring our syndicated show back here. We enjoyed today. We hope you learned something from this. Let's continue to talk about the show, and we'll talk to you soon.